tukon.
The concept of aim is both super simple and complex at the same time. Essentially, the key to success is regular practice, but if there were all there was to it, then every hero in your matches would be shooting like monesy. Regular training is cool and even necessary, but 99% of players don't know which aspects of aim they need to work on and how to do it right to see the results. In this video, I'll tell you about the most effective exercises for each aspect of aim and how to properly set up a training program. Before we dive into the video, I'd like to ask you to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you won't miss any awesome new videos, cause 98% of you watching my videos without subscribing. And don't forget to watch the video till the end to get the most out of it. Pick a map that's most comfortable for you. In my case, it's aim botz. But if you're unsure which map to use, drop a comment and I'll make a new video explaining all the current maps for training, especially since it's been over 3 months since my last one. And now it's important to understand the main aspect that make up aim. First things first is aiming. This is the fundamental element. To start shooting, you first need to aim at the enemy. The faster and more accurately you do this, the better your shooting will be. When we talk about the aim, targeting is its primary component. But if you train only this aspect, you won't get far. However, you shouldn't forget about the basic bot killing exercise, which is beneficial when you're just starting the game. It actually helps you to get a feel for the mouse, the crosshair and the weapon you're playing with. Allocate up to 10 minutes for this since it can be considered a warm-up. The second one is aim compensation. This skill is crucial and essential for every player. It is important to train because most of your kills come from aim compensation. Aiming and aim compensation are practically the same, but with the latter we specifically train to compensate for inaccuracy, whereas with basic aiming we focus more on speed. Either way, the skill of aim compensation is very important in real games. In a real match, most often both you and your opponent won't score a kill with the first bullet, especially at medium to long distances. Hence, we conclude that training on bots is not just something to do, it's a purposeful practice for a particular skill. I would dedicate about 10 to 15 minutes a day to this specific skill. During training, you need to stay focused on what you're doing. Third one is tracking. This involves keeping your crosshair on the opponent. Like the previous point, it's used in every duel. With an AK when you peek at an opponent, with a pistol when your opponent zooms in at the speed of light, or even with an AVP when you need to shoot with a fast zoom at any distance. If you master this skill, you become almost a perfect shooter. For this reason, you should not only know about this training but should do it every day. If you don't have 5,000–6,000 hours of playtime, dedicate at least 15 minutes a day to tracking. This will teach you to shoot and strafe quickly. Training is simple. Increase the bot's speed and try to keep your crosshair on a bot for half a second to a second, then shoot and aim at the next bot. Stopping the crosshair. This is very important skill. It might seem easy to stop the crosshair at the right spot, but let me explain briefly why this skill is needed. If you want to win matches solo, if you want to shoot very well, if you want to climb 2, 3 or even 4,000 ELO, you need to learn how to kill everyone, always. Understand that in many situations when you're shooting against several opponents at once or when you have to flick, you don't kill them simply because you can quickly and accurately move your crosshair. Essentially, it's the same as aiming, just not at those distances and in those situations. Training this skill isn't that easy. You need to visualize that your opponent is approximately 70–90 degrees from you and you need to turn precisely and sharply to the distance to kill the bot. To add realism to the exercise, it's better performed in deathmatch, when you hear the footsteps of your opponent and interact more with the terrain. This skill and exercises for it will enhance the quality of your shooting, as in addition to accuracy you will start to feel the mouse better. If you hone your tracking, aim compensation and aiming, then you're already shooting well, but only within a narrow targeting zone. Accuracy. Everything mentioned above sounds great, but it's meaningless without accuracy. After all, approximately 40% of shooting depends on your accuracy, while everything else consists of auxiliary skills that help you realize your position. You need to train your shooting accuracy with focus and concentration, giving it your all 200%. That's the only way you can consolidate the results of the previous exercises and more. There can be many different exercises for this, but what's most important is not which ones you choose, but how dedicated you are during your training. Accuracy is trained one way or another during other exercises, but there are times when you need to focus specifically on it. For all players who don't have at least 3,000 hours, I would recommend practicing it for 20 minutes a day. We also need to talk about the types of shooting. Generally, there are 3 types: tapping, shooting one bullet at a time, bursting, shooting in short bursts, and spraying. Out of these 3, in real matches only 2 are actually used: tapping and spraying. Bursting is something nobody needs and you won't kill anyone with it, so forget about it, never use it in your life. As you might have noticed, most exercises take roughly the same amount of time, and if you add them all up, you get approximately 1 hour of quality training. Ideally, you should spend an hour and a half each day of training. All these bot exercises should be used for warm-up and focus to training, and you should add about half an hour of deathmatch to that. Training can vary, but the essence is the same. Practice consciously and improve the aspects you're lagging in. Overall, you should understand that there is no secret training on formula to become a god of this game. Although there is one thing, it's your approach and knowledge. It's great to train your aim, but it's even better to do it correctly when you understand what you're doing and why. Then, these exercises will yield the results. Once you become a pro in aiming, you still need to know how to implement it, and that's a whole different story. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We need to hit our first 1,000 subscribers. That's it for now, see you in the next video, bye bye!